So it's the end of November in the UK and we've had our first real storm of the winter period, heavy winds and some snow. So in this video I'm just going to take you around the allotment and show you how the winter veg are getting on and coping with these conditions, and also show you inside my polyhouse. So hopefully you'll find the video interesting, and if you do like the video, don't forget to give it the thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe to the channel for future videos on how to sow and grow fruit and veg and a few recipe ideas, don't forget to press the subscribe button. Like most vegetable growers who have got an allotment or a vegetable patch or a garden, always a bit nervous going to the allotments the following day to see what's happened. I mean, the winds here last night were very heavy. I'd only built this polyhouse about I don't know, 7-8 months ago in April. There's a video on the channel showing you how I built it, and this is the polyhouse's first real test of the weather, and I'm glad to say it has survived really well. Doesn't seem to be any problem whatsoever, and a lot of that's down to the way it was built. Notice these diagonal timbers here just to the left and right hand side, just behind the door. That's called bracing, and that is so important because when the wind hits the sides here or the other side, the wind load will be transferred through the bracing to the rest of the frame. So basically it's distributing the load all the way along. There's very similar timbers on the back, and you see the diagonal timber at the back, and there's another one just peeping behind, just you can just see just behind there, which is another diagonal bracing. And I've also got bracing in the corners here and underneath here. And as I go around the allotments, you can see that there isn't too much damage. A bit of the netting's been dropped a little bit by the snow. And over here I've noticed that the cover for my compost bin has blown off, which you can just see it there, and that should be over there, so I've got to put that back. Just means I've got a bit of wet compost, so that'll dry out over time. And over here some of my wood has blown from the side because that wasn't very secure, and this here was just on top of the cover for the compost bin. Here, that's blown off as well, but that always would, it's lightweight. I might secure that down because if we have further winds, what I don't want to do is for that to damage crops. Because just to the left of that you can see the broad beans that have all germinated. That's the variety called Valenciana. So anything that clearly was to hit them would damage them, but they're looking okay. Just climb through this before I move it. And over here we have my Swedes and turnips. The turnips are the first line and the Swedes are just behind them, and then I've got some leeks. So these crops, the cold weather, the snow, the ice, the sub-zero temperatures won't do them any harm at all. Under this bed here I have kale. I'm going to take the last few of them today, there's not many of them left. And just over here again, just autumn winter crops, I have a whole bay of garlic and onion sets. If you look at the channel you'll notice that about 3 to 4 weeks ago they were planted. The garlic is the nearest to the camera, and as we go through the rest of the bed here, 2 varieties of onion sets. You can just see them poking out the just top of where the snow is. At the far end there is the sensui, which is the white Japanese onion, and then just germinated here closer to them is the red Baron onion sets. Also cold temperatures, a little bit of snow won't affect strawberries at all. This time of year now they do go very dormant, they will die off, but the snow and the frost will do them no harm whatsoever, as will the rhubarb, which is now completely empty. That white patch just there you can see, just maybe with a few leaves poking out which will come off, are the remains of my 12 rhubarb plants. So they're all now hibernating over the winter period. All the tubers underground will be absolutely fine, and the raspberries as well, they're starting to die off, going yellowy brown, and in January or February I will cut them and get them ready for the following growing season. Now, one of the main reasons for building my polyhouse were for this times of year when the temperature starts to drop, when we get the bad weather, just to allow me to start to grow things inside. So as you can see, if you come in here, all of this completely protected from all this weather that you've just seen outside. I've got pak choy, Chinese cabbage, Swedes, turnips, lettuce, all in the ground, all mixed here, bit of spinach, Under the netting, which can now come off, is the Brussels sprouts. And over here we had a fantastic picking of these last week, which is the spinach in the first tray, and just behind it is the Mizuma, which is an amazing mustard leaf. I'll take some more of that today because there's loads of it. So as you can see, the Polyhouse has made a massive difference, and all this veg that are growing in here has a much better chance of producing a harvest compared to outside. So although this is an unheated Polyhouse, it still gives these vegetables a greater chance of survival and cropping compared to if they were outside. So just under the netting at the far end you can see spring cabbage, and a little bit closer we have the leeks. And finally, when we come over to this bit here, under this mulch, this is my one experimental pepper, which I'm going to leave in the Polyhouse over the winter period to see if I can get that to regenerate for next year. I have taken 3 peppers into the house to overwinter, and you can see a video on the channel showing you how I did that. So even in the really bad weather and the cold temperatures, there's still lots going on at the allotment. Even in the frost and the snow, the allotment can still produce, and I'm hoping that this video has give you some encouragement really to grow beyond the normal summer growing season. You do need to grow vegetables that will be able to cope with these types of temperatures, but there's no need to shut your allotment or your garden or your vegetable growing down. What are you growing at this time of year? Is there anything in your allotment or garden that's outside at the moment that surprised you? Is there anything that's growing that you wouldn't expect in these temperatures? Just pop a comment below and let everybody know. It's great to encourage people to grow veg all year round, and any ideas that you've got I'm sure will be greatly received. So anyway, I hope that's given you some ideas, and if you do like the video, don't forget to give it the thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe to the channel for future videos on how to sow and grow fruit and veg and 1 or 2 recipe ideas, don't forget to press the subscribe button. And I'll see you all on the next video.